Hey everyone, it's Phil. I just want to warn you that there's some technical difficulties during the episode. It's nothing intense, it's just that Zoom decided to not cooperate with our guest that we will have in this episode. That you already know who it is because it's in the title of this podcast. Anyway, shit happens and the show must go on. Thank you for listening to that message and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Whispers from the Void. I am Evan, of course.
And I am Phil, Derby Test for the Intimates. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Yeah.
All right, Phil. Phil did a lot of work.
Yeah, I did a lot of work.
Phil's had to pick up a lot of work.
I had a homework, and it was to search for our first guest because since it's been 5 months that we haven't done episode. It's been 2 episodes. We were okay, let's do a guest. I was thinking, yeah, let's invite this guy because he's a fun guy. We can talk about metal, animes, and beer, and Godzilla. It's Dave Palenske from Volcandra. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to see you, to have you, and talk to you. So let's do this episode together, shall we? But first,
Absolutely.
I think we should open a beer.
Oh,
I think that's a good idea.
If you want to begin, Dave, you can present your beer that you're having.
So yeah, I didn't go for anything super fancy, but this is a tried and true for me.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I love a lot of things from Japan, including their beer. So I grabbed a nice tall Sapporo tall boy, and to top it all off, I brought my my trusty dusty leather lung tall boy koozie that I got at our PM Fest when we met back in 2022. Got to put this puppy to use.
Souvenir.
Shout out to Leather Lung.
Shout
out to Leather Lung. I got this for free, and they were fucking dope. They were awesome. They were so fun to watch. So
that's great.
Cheers.
Cheers. You want to continue, Evan?
Yeah. So I have one here called "It's Great Notion." It's from Dead End. 7% hazy IPA. Everything I love about beers. The can art's pretty dope. So.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
It's like that stairs thing.
The famous painting. I don't know the artist, but I know they do the same kind of thing in the movie Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Where there's all the crazy staircases. That's totally inspired by whatever art piece that is.
And I got my 4 Phantoms glass, so that's what that's going in.
Classy. And the Budweiser sweater. That's looking real nice.
I have been on a mission. I realized that Marshall's sells novelty beer merchandise. It's weird. So it's I found a Coors Light. I found a Coors Banquet shirt. I found a Miller High Life when they did this. What was it? They did that. The original labeling, the anniversary labeling.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I got one of those shirts with the girl on the half moon and stuff.
Nice.
Does it say the champagne of beers on the shirt?
Yup.
Hell yeah.
I got that. I found this. There was a Modelo one, and I was like, ooh, I want to get that, but
ooh, yeah, man.
I know. I'm not. So I started drinking Modelo to justify having this shirt.
It was still Modelo time, regardless.
Absolutely. Phil?
So yeah, to finish the beer round, I have this Column Climber by Kahnawake Brewing. It's a Vienna Lager. Or how do you say lager? Because you had this joke about lager. How do you say it?
Oh, well, so yeah, we gotta give the audience a little bit of context. Back in 2022, when the Devastation on the Nation tour came through Montreal, Matt McGackie held an after party at what was that place called?
Turbo House.
The bar. Yeah,
Was that Turbo House? Yeah.
Turbo House. Yeah. And so I think they had some of the beers that Matt was showcasing on tap there, but Jason from storm ruler, he walks into this place and he says, tell me, or just give me your best lager. And then throughout the night, everyone got a little more inebriated, and we all started just screaming lager, lager, lager.
Ah.
So this goes out to all the lager lads
So
from
it's
Devastation 22.
So it's the Vienna Lager, and by Kahnawake Brewing. Kahnawake Brewing is a brewing company from like Kahnawake, which is like a little city, a little town near Montreal. It's a little town like on with the First Nation, the Mohawk precisely. And,
very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. The brewer is dope. We had him on our podcast a very long time ago, and yeah, very cool beers. Every style of beer is doing it great. So if you come back to Montreal, I will bring you to Kahnawake. Is awesome.
Sounds like a date.
And I have like this special big glass. I don't know when I had this one. It's the Stella Artois glass.
Very nice.
Glass.
It's a very it's
That
the
gold
original
rim?
glass. Huh? Yeah, it's a gold rim.
Hell
Yeah, it's a gold rim over there. Like I was feeling fancy, boys.
Pinkies up.
Oh, wait.
love that.
No, I can't.
That
Wait, like this.
looks
You
great.
need like
That looks
you need
great.
bigger mittens, dude.
I have the smallest hand ever. Like my hand is big, but my fingers are small, dude. It's stupid. Like my hand is very huge, but like my fingers, I cannot play bass like this. I cannot like do finger style bass. Or even Tosin Abassi on guitar. This guy got huge thumbs. This guy got a thumb. He can do like 90 degrees. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Dude, he's a monster.
He's a monster. Like he's a kaiju. This guy like got like unhuman. He got unhuman hands. That just like I don't understand. I do not understand. Anyway,
Some people are just gifted.
yeah,
man.
some people are gifted, and I'm not one of those. But hey,
You're real good at drinking beers, though.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
This I'm very good at. But like my our friend Steph Dells, our friend from the Vox and Hops gang, I went with him to a festival near my house, and the thing is, he got experience in drinking because like he was drinking after drinking. I was like 8 beers in, and I was like, "Urgh. Yeah, I don't feel good, dude."
Phil,
I was
Phil's
already
built for the great times, not the longevity.
Yeah, but like this guy just like drink. He's like, oh yeah, I'm good. He was drunk, but he was good. He was feeling fine. I was drunk and I was feeling okay, but not too much.
Like that scene in Lord of the Rings where Gimli and Legolas they're having a drink off.
Yeah.
And Gimli's, he's cocky about it, but yeah, he ends up just like falling on his ass because he gets too drunk, and then Legolas is like, I think I feel something.
I mean,
That's an extended cut. That's a deep cut.
Yeah,
right there,
yeah. Well, that's the only way to watch those
No,
movies,
absolutely.
man.
that's a
Absolutely.
deep cut, and also another deep cut about Gimli is that there is a band called Gimli, Son of Gorn. Son of Orn. Son
Oh,
of
that's
Gorn?
tough, dude.
Have you heard this?
Yeah. Have you heard that
Awesome.
band? Have you heard that
I
band?
haven't.
It's
I
a-
haven't,
it's
but
a
I
grind-
definitely
it's a
should, I
They're a
guess.
grind
gr-
band.
Yeah, it's a grindcore band about Gimli.
Yeah, they just take
I
a
love
ton of sound bites and they'll put them into the music.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh,
they're
that's
so
awesome.
well put in. It's awesome.
I gotta show that to our bassist, Travis Meredith. He's a big Lord of the Rings fan, as am I. So, but
Oh,
that'll definitely be something to check out.
I am taking the plunge. I'm reading the Silmarillion, and as much as I love the Lord of the Rings, I want to die a little bit because it's so wordy.
And here it's a hard read. I heard it's
It's-
very very dense.
It's
That's what
so
they say.
The details are unreal, but it's so wordy. It's that old English Shakespearean type of talk where everything's like a mere regular sentence that could be ended in like 4 words is just drawn out in like 19. And you're just like, all right, we're in for it, you know?
Maybe an audiobook would be a good companion to reading it.
Yes.
My girlfriend, when she likes to read, she'll have like an audiobook going, and then she'll have like some like ambient like fantasy video with like, you know, it's got like the music playing and there's like raindrops and stuff. So it's like a whole, you know, it's a whole to do.
It's an experience.
Nice.
Yeah, to create the vibe.
Oh yeah. I what did you think of the what was that Amazon Lord of the Rings show that they came out with? Did you watch that?
I watched like 3 episodes of it and just kind of gave up. It didn't really feel like Lord of the Rings to me. I'm also not a fan of like the Hobbit trilogy either. But the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings trilogy is, you know, goated, you know, top tier stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I struggled with the Amazon series. It looked really cool. Like, I mean, like the production design and everything was very, very impressive. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't stick the landing for me, I guess.
I know that I struggled. They brought up details that I largely forgot. So when I first saw Lord of the Rings, I was small. But I remember we got it on. We actually talked about this in the last podcast, didn't we, Phil?
Yeah.
I thought it was Blu-ray. It wasn't Blu-ray. My family got it. We watched it all as a family. Instantly hooked. And then through the years, I read the books and got into all the lore and stuff like that. And I forgot like how much of like the second age of that lore that there really is. There's like it's a whole other world, and a whole bunch of stuff happens. And they pretty much, I wouldn't say they nailed it. They got about 90% of it right. Okay. But I do think it was weirdly executed. It was, yeah, I don't know. I was not a true fan of it. I am interested because they are coming out with the Silmarillion movie. And like Henry Cavill's in it.
That is interesting.
Which is now the go-to guy when it comes to fantasy adventures. You just got to get Henry in it.
Yeah, I mean, because everyone knows that he's a nerd. He's passionate about like, you know, the roles that he takes when it comes to things like that. So you got to respect that.
Yeah. So I wanted to. It gave me basically an excuse to be like, all right, I'm gonna read the Silmarillion because the movie's gonna come out. I got to make sure that I know what's happening in the movie. Even though they'll cut out, there's no way they're gonna keep 90% of what fucking Tolkien talks about. They're gonna get rid of all of that because it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean that just comes with the territory when adapting a book to a movie or whatever,
adapting
or a show.
Adapting is tough. Like adapting from a book to a movie is very tough. Even adapting, like for example, the recent adaptation that I saw. I'm switching a little bit of subject, but Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's a tough adaptation because it's little episode of 30 minutes. Each book of the Avatar is like maybe 20 episode each, and the first season is 8 episode. So how to take the first book of like 24 episode to make it an 8 episode? Well, you have to cut. You have no choice. You have to cut some things. You have to just paste something together. And yeah, like it's very tough to adapt. To adapt something to well, it's the word, it's the adaptation. That's the goal of adaptation. You have to take something and fit it to another media.
Right.
So
you know, it gets pulled off sometimes. Not all the times, but sometimes.
I mean, some adaptation are good when like you're cutting something, but you put it like in a new context, if we can say so. Like if the context is respected, you can cut some things. If you cut some things, but you don't respect the context of it, and you cut something and like there's no sense with the context of the the world that is like in it, like if you cut something from, I don't know, from Lord of the Rings, that you cut Legolas, like what? You're cutting him? Like, why do you cut him? He's important to the story.
Yeah, well, and when those movies came out, a lot of people were upset that Shelob was not in the Two Towers, but you know, they had to come out and say, like, look, we could only fit so much into this movie. Like, it's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah,
but
so
you know, it is what it is. You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, for sure.
No, everybody wants things to be perfect, but nobody wants to put in the work to make them perfect or understand what it's going to take.
Totally.
But speaking of perfect, you see that?
Uh-oh.
The new album. The Way of the Ancients.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
you guys think it's perfect?
I love it.
I love it too.
Excellent. Excellent.
So
Thank you.
What was very interesting to me was Border Worlds. Fun fact. So ever since we met, because obviously Phil knew more about you guys than I did. But you have consistently been, Volcandra has consistently been in one of those top bands I listen to every year. And I've been...
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, no, I love it. And basically, like Demon of the Fall, your rendition of Demon of the Fall. Because I'm a big Opeth guy too, so I was like...
Oh, yeah. So are we, obviously.
This is awesome. I liked how you guys sort of stretched your identity a little bit in the album. Like it's definitely feels faster. It feels more, I would say, like aggressive.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. And I think while overall it is probably more aggressive than our previous material, there's still plenty of melody in there too.
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't go full tilt, you know. It's not just a bunch of caveman riffs or anything. Mm-hmm. Not that there's anything wrong with caveman riffs, but no, I mean, we like some guitar harmonies, you know, we like some melody in there, you know. You gotta, I don't know, we like to mix it up a little bit, you know.
I think the guitar melodies are what that impressed me more with the album, because I was like, holy shit, that harmony was unexpected, because I hear an harmony and goes to another thing, I'm like, whoa. Like, what is that? But like, not what is yeah.
I was saying reviews have been interesting because it's almost like there's like two like opinions that people typically have about our music. They're either like, wow, I like that this band combines these different things into one, you know, cohesive work, or you have the other people that are like, this band doesn't know what they want to sound like. One song is all fast and heavy, and then the next song's atmospheric, but you know, it goes back to, you're never gonna make everybody happy, but we like to combine just kind of all of our favorite things.
Mm-hmm. And I think that is important. That is important because it is Volcandra identity. This is your identity, and it's like you cannot make everyone happy. Like, it's you. It's you. That's who you are. You're showing that to people, and that's what I love. You are unique in your own way, and that's and like you're still like finding your sound and trying to find your sound, but still like now I think Volcandra with that album, you know what is Volcandra with that album. That album is like, oh, okay, you're making an assessment. You're like, this is our sound now. This is our sound, and that's how we sound like. That is Volcandra, I think.
I would hope people, you know, kind of have the idea at this point with 2 albums and an EP, you know, like,
yeah.
I would hope people would know what to expect, but that's not to say that we'll maybe expand on the ideas that are already there and hopefully progress it in a way that is different but still works, you know.
Exactly, and I love when a bands do that, because when a band is like, okay, this is our identity, we don't move one bit, and we stay there, I'm like, it sucks, because I'm like, you can do more, you can explore more, you can explore more avenues, and
I mean, that works for some bands.
Yeah,
you know?
It works for some bands for sure.
I love AC/DC, like,
Yeah.
and they know what they're doing. Like, there was an interview with Angus Young, and the interviewer was like, "So some people say that you've written the same album 13 times. How do you feel about that?" And then he's like, "Well, actually, we've written the same album 14 times." And I mean, I don't, that's for me, that's the band that got me into any sort of heavy music.
Yeah.
It's like the first band that I fell in love with. So, but no, we're not, Volcandra isn't that kind of band. I think you can expect us to experiment a little bit along the way without something being too far of a departure from
Yeah.
what people are familiar with.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I love experimenting, but like staying true to who you are, not experimenting for experimenting, but just like you expand a little bit your sound, you find new things interesting, but you stay true to yourself. And that's what I like. And like I compare it to Border World or the first album, I'm like, yeah, this is more mature, I think. It's a more mature sound. There's something that is like, okay, now I feel it now. I feel what is Volcandra. And I'm like, shit, that sounds like, wow. I was impressed. And funny enough, a little bit of hot take, because recently Winterson announced that they are releasing Time 2. And I think it was today they released like sound clips of the new albums. And I was listening to that. And I was like, it's interesting. Volcandra is doing better though. And not because I was just listening to it.
Wait till you hear their full album.
Yeah,
maybe it'll surprise you. I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I was like, yeah, it feels like Time 1, 12 years later. I was like, it missed something. But maybe it was just sound clips. Maybe the album would be better, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes an album, grows on you over time. Maybe on your first listen, you might not be super hot on it, but check it out a couple more times,
I don't want
I've had
to
that
bitch.
experience with music.
I don't want to bitch about this album. It's just like, we are waiting for a very long time for Time 2. That's why I was listening to the song. That's why I was like, it's good. I need more. I want to understand more. And I was still on the Volcandra listening. I was like, yeah, Volcandra is just like perfect right now. It's perfect.
Well, thanks, man.
There was definitely more use of growls in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man. There's some gnarlier riffs on this one, which I felt called for some more guttural vocals in certain parts. So that's been a lot of fun, especially live. Messing around with different ranges and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that just to expand on what Phil was saying, there's something that can be said about what we measure consistency on, but more or less, I think that as we get to listen to more and more stuff, we move on. We get to hear all the new stuff that comes out and things like that. Metal has an inherent amount of crazy to it. And so the level of consistency, I guess that people could say, like, oh, what are they trying to sound like? Well, I mean, what do you expect? Like, I can't remember the last metal album. A Doom record is probably the closest you're ever going to get to like everything's. This is this is consistency. It's just the same tones, the same drops, everything all the way through. And I love myself some Doom. But that only applies there. And I feel like that's pretty true. It only applies to that genre in metal. Whereas there's people that love punk and how popular was Dillinger Escape Plan? And they were just nuts. They just went up there and just went crazy. And people lap it up. I mean, so it's tough. It's almost contradictory to be like, oh yeah, there's no consistency in sound or whatever. It's like, well, that's
it's
not
also
what you're here
music.
For. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, sure, like you want everything to fit, like together. You don't want one song to sound like it was written by like a different band or whatever compared to the previous. But at the same time, like there aren't really any rules.
Yeah.
I mean, think about guys like Frank Zappa or like,
Yeah.
Mike Patton. I mean, listen to their albums. They're nuts. They're all over the place. Or Rush, like Rush is, they'll burst into like a reggae riff, in the middle of some 10-minute long prog rock song. Like, who cares, man? Just write a good song. That's kind of really all that matters at the end of the day, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and I completely agree with you on that. It's just like that's what I love, for example, about prog. Like, it's always unexpected. Like, you hear something, you're like, oh, it goes over there. Oh, it goes over there. It's unexpected, but it sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And about music in general, it's just like that. I like someone that is like true to its roots and like stays on his sound, but I like someone that's like experiment, try things different. And yeah, I think it's just fun to hear someone that experiment and does something new.
That's what this is all about, right? Just want to have some fun, man.
That's what we're here for.
If you're not having fun playing the music or listening to the music, then why are you doing it?
I mean, funny enough, and it's not a voluntarily a shameless plug about myself and my project, because I have a music project that I released.
Get your notepads, people. Write this down.
Yeah, shameless plug. I have a project called Luna Solis, and it's a drone project. Drone like
cool.
sun. And
yeah.
And like, we got 2 songs released right now, and the thing is, every time me and my friend were writing songs, we're like, okay, let's do this, and let's do that note and this note. Oh, and let's put screaming over there, and let's put like, I don't know, like a sound of a big monster over there. And like, we were just doing what we wanted. We had no limits. Just no limit. Don't push the limit. You have to push the limit to do something that is maybe not good, but something that you like.
Right, and stuff is going to end up on the cutting room floor. Not everything is going to make it to the finished product, but I think that's part of the fun is kind of testing your own strengths and weaknesses and seeing what sticks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like this.
No, I mean, yeah, I was very pleased with Way of the Ancients. March 1st, right? Tomorrow,
yeah.
When you guys
not
are
when this
listening,
comes
it will
out,
be, math, whatever. It will be
a few days,
not March 1st.
Like it will be March 4 when this episode will be out, and I think you will have time to listen to that album. If not, go listen to it now. And if you don't listen to it, I will do this.
Emotional damage.
Oh, Phil and his sound bites.
Was that Uncle Roger?
No, it's Stephen.
The guy on YouTube.
No, it's not Uncle Roger. It's Stephen E. It's the guy, like he's like impersonating his dad, and they were playing like video game. If Asian was a difficulty mode.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. And like
the sound bites are a nice touch, though.
Yeah.
We're dialing him in. Still very new.
I'm curious, is there like Uncle Roger's sounds on the soundboard? No, there's no Uncle Roger.
So like you can imagine that our goal one day is like at RPM Fest or something, we'll have a table where we'll just talk to people. And you'll know that we've made it because Phil will be over there in the corner hitting sound bites as we're talking to people. So you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'll be like, "Oh wait."
I mean,
you gotta have the mobile soundboards. You guys can like walk around with like a camera and a microphone, and then someone's got the soundboard
we won't be that active. Well, I'll just pitch a table right in the middle of everything.
There you go.
We'll just be like,
In the middle of the pit.
Yes, in the middle of the pit.
No, in the middle of the pit, it does this.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Table in the middle of the pit.
Oh my god, that would be funny. Dude, I'd be pumped for that. But yes.
No, and in the pit, we does this again.
It's time to
Yo, my soundboard is just like anime references and meme references. So I like it.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's.
We got to start taking sound bites from our episodes, and we got to start putting them in there. Like a true radio program, dude.
I should do shorts, but I'm too lazy to do it.
Well, I know. I don't think this podcast will ever expand beyond you and me, so we'll never have minions. It'll just always be us.
Yeah, we'll never have like a production management or someone that just like does everything for me. No, it's just me that does it, and you that is like presenting it.
Oh, quite literally.
It's literally that. But yeah, one day we'll have a team. One day.
So Dave, still reside in Kentucky?
I do, yeah. Yeah, we're still in the Louisville area.
How's the metal scene out there?
It's not bad. I feel like when we've talked about this amongst ourselves a couple of times, I feel like there were more bands like pre-COVID, but I feel like the pandemic kind of like maybe killed momentum for some people. But with that said, there are still a lot of great bands from this area. Some of my favorites are She. They're a really sick stoner doom band. It's SHI. She. Another one is Blind Scryer. They're like a stoner like 70s like style like kind of proto metal band. River, our guitar player, he used to play for them. They're a fantastic band. And Andrew Casciato, the guy who tracked bass on The Way of Ancients, he also plays in Blind Scryer. You've got Stagecoach Inferno. They're a heavy metal, like they're a cowboy themed, like Wild West themed heavy metal band. They're great guys. Some of the guys in that band are in another band called Baptize, which they're kind of like a sleazy like speed metal, kind of almost like Motorhead Worship. Mm-hmm. Redivider is another one. They're a great death metal band from around here. So I mean, there's still a lot of good bands in town. I feel like there's less, but the music scene is still, it's still very active. There's a lot of variety in the bands around here. So yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, I'm always curious. I went to Nashville a couple times. Obviously, bachelor parties. Everyone wants to go. What a fucking crazy place. Oh my God.
It's wild, man. Yeah, Nashville's very it's very congested. A lot of people have been like moving there, and it's a very crowded place. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But
I like visiting Nashville, but yeah, there's a lot going on there for sure.
Oh my God, just even like 5-6 years ago, it wasn't even the same place. It's insane.
Yeah, man.
But like Whitechapel's from that area and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's big bands that reside in that area, and one of my goals was always I wanted to see a show there, because I was always very curious. Because of course, we're walking around Nashville. Of course, you're walking around, you're hitting up all the bars, and all my buddies, they're dressed up like you would in Nashville. Which is basically you're a prep boy, Phil, if you didn't know.
Prep boy?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like, you got your collared shirt. You might have some.
Oh, yeah.
You got your best
some
Dockers
pastel
on.
colored polos.
Yeah, like everybody's like, you look like you're not from there, and that's the whole point. Meanwhile, I had on a 200 Stab Wound shirt with Maggot Stomp death metal on the back. And I honestly, my buddies were like, there's no way you're getting in anywhere. And I was like, I'm actually getting in everywhere. And
yeah, I mean,
but
you're not
always searching.
They're not going to be that hard of a time.
I was always searching for at least other people, especially when I'm down there. I'm always searching for other people to see What I will say is that surprisingly, I did talk to like some of the bands that play on that row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they book. So Phil, they have it's live music like 24 hours all the time. But
Nice.
Yeah, it's almost like New
Yeah.
Orleans, where it's just a bunch of like, it's a bunch of bars or street performers, and
Mhm.
usually it's like cover bands, but I mean, either way, it's a ton of music going on that. Like, I know what main strip you're talking about, though.
Yeah. So we
I
were in
would
Kid
love-
Rock's bar.
I would love to
And-
go there. I would love to go there. I would love to go to New Orleans. New Orleans. I don't know how to pronounce
Yeah,
it.
New Orleans is a lot of fun.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love just to visit Louisiana, like just Louisiana and mostly the Cajun part, because like there's French.
It's not the French youth you know.
Yeah, but
Have you ever heard
but
Creole?
I've listened to some Cajun French, and it's not that different.
Really?
It's not that different. Imagine.
So you guys are like the Louisiana of Canada?
No, it's
Is that what
basically
you're saying?
it's the reverse, because like we were here in Quebec first, but some people, the Acadian people from the east, some people had to move because they were like, okay, we are not like welcome here anymore, so we have to move down south, and they moved in Louisiana, what became Louisiana today. And they got their own culture, they got their own French, but it's still a French that I understand a little bit. So yeah, for sure there's some expression I don't understand, for sure.
I would love to see that interaction.
I honestly,
Yeah,
I would love to.
that'd be pretty fun to see in
That would
real
be
time.
interesting.
I would love to.
like two baby goats trying to talk.
Two eagles go, hello? How you doing?
But yeah, so we went. I was at Kid Rock's bar. There was these band of like young kids. I was inebriated, but they were basically they were a death metal band, but they were playing at like the top floor of like Kid Rock's bar, and so security was like, you guys need to, the dance floor was crazy. He was like, you guys need to relax, blah, blah, blah. I said, there's no way that's happening. So I gave the kid $100 to play Rage Against the Machine.
Wow.
And Bulls on Parade.
Oh, very sick.
Oh, dude. I started a mosh pit, and it worked. Dude did not think in a million years it was gonna work. It worked, and
anything can happen in Music City.
Oh my god! So
That's what they say anyway.
Dude, we were jumping on the floor of the third floor of Kid Rock's bar. I shit you not. I felt every vibration. I thought we were gonna go through the fucking floor onto the second floor, dude.
God damn.
But the point of that story is to say that there is I've always seen that there's like this tinge little like underground thing, even in like this cowboy infested, country infested music scene, where there's like there are these like hardcore bands. And I know that like if you go off of Main Street and stuff, I can't remember the exact street, but I do know that you can get to a couple venues that will play like hardcore.
Oh yeah,
remember.
like
Yeah.
you got Exit In. That's probably the big one for like more underground music. There's also there's a place right across the street called The End, I think. That's more of like a dive bar. But they have a bunch of metal shows. Yeah, and there's tons of great metal bands out of the Nashville area. I mean, the Artisan era, like Inferi, all those guys. Those are all Nashville folks. We recorded our record. We recorded The Way of Ancients in Nashville with Mike Lowe, and Naveen and Cheney from the band Entheos. They recently moved out to the Nashville area, and that's where we recorded drums. So, yeah, there's a lot of great musicians out of there. A lot of like heavier death metal, black metal. It's all sorts of stuff from the Nashville area.
Yeah, I find it interesting. Being from out here in Mass, the Boston area. Hardcore and stuff like that was just in your face all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so it was weird. It's always interesting to see, like, I'm so used to that kind of culture being around. And then I go to, like I was just in Miami, dude, for another bachelor party. And that's all.
Damn, you're living right now.
That's party stuff, dude. Oh my god, dude. That's a place.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
Miami's big.
Florida's an interesting state. That's for sure.
Miami's big. You don't realize how big it is. But we stayed like way out, like on the outskirts. We did go to South Beach one night. And it was strange. I felt very out of place because it's just a different culture. It's like you don't even feel like you're in the same country at some points.
Right.
You know what I mean? Totally different. But we watched the Super Bowl down there, and that was fun. A lot of Chiefs fans.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're a Chief fan?
I'm not. No. I was rooting for San Francisco, but it didn't happen.
The only time I was like for the Chief because I don't listen. Oh, what? Oh, shit. He's gone. Why?
Oh, no. He's giving up on us.
He's giving up on us.
See if he comes back.
What?
A few moments later.
Welcome back, dude.
Sorry about that, fellas.
Okay, why?
For a second, I was like, oh, man, he must not like Miami.
I was like, oh, they're talking about football. I got to get out of here. No. Just kidding. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. We'll see. I've had issues with Zoom in the past, but we'll do our best.
It's all right.
That's okay. That's okay.
We're
Okay,
on to
I'm not
other
talking.
Topics.
No. What the fuck?
Oh, I did it again.
No! What? Oh shit.
12 seconds later.
All right. Well, while we wait for Dave, Phil's opening his beer fridge.
Yeah. Just open.
Yeah, I find it interesting that, because I always feel like, you get to the south, you go south that Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
And the culture shifts a lot. And so everything over there is like very, we talk about underground. And like you probably feel this too, because, in Quebec, you're probably more progressive in that area.
Yeah, for sure.
So we talk about underground when in reality, our underground is very much like, it's just all it is for us is just bands that haven't quite made that next step yet, So like I would say that like we're very privileged, I would say, in our experience of what's underground and what's like not accepted, quote unquote. But like you talk about a place like Kentucky, Tennessee, like those are hardcore Catholic, Christian, those are red states. Those are like you're talking about a real, these shows are in this bar in an area very secluded or in a place where like nobody, people find out you go there, they're like, oh, they write you off. Like it's a whole, there's like a whole societal aspect to it that probably isn't there for us. So that's why it's interesting to me.
No, it's very interesting. For sure, like I don't have like the same experience with the South than you or like other Americans, because like when I hear about the South of America, like of United States, I'm like, oh, cowboys. Like it's the only thing that rings in my head.
You're like, oh, them roughnecks.
No, but it just but there's that because like we thought about
what? He's got again.
What the fuck?
It's just a bad time of day.
Eventually.
Sorry guys, I don't know what issues I'm having here.
Yeah, but what was happening on your side? It was like,
oh.
What the hell? Okay, now I have to put it. I have no choice.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, Phil's just rocked. He's sad now. It's all over.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm a little bit.
Hey, you know what? I will say we got through most of it without these issues, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're feeling pretty good.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Hello?
Hello.
Does it work?
Oh.
Oh no, no, no.
You guys get me?
There we go.
Yeah?
It's there. It's gone.
No! Why?
Oh, man, that's funny.
I don't know if I will release that episode. I want to do like fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, yeah, no, that's it. Well, ask him. Just text it to him. Maybe he'll give it to you.
Yeah, but like maybe we'll join with the audio.
Okay.
Later.
Let's see.
We're coming in hot.
Yeah?
All right, I
Yeah?
don't know. Is it
Yeah?
working?
All right, Phil,
Come
ask
on,
your question real quick.
internet gods.
Question very fast. Fuck, marry, kill. Godzilla, King Kong, or Optimus Prime?
Optimus Prime, I guess. Oh wait, no, all three. Ah, dude.
Yeah, it's a fuck, marry, kill. So, who would you fuck? Who would you marry? Who would you kill?
I feel like Optimus is a tender lover.
Okay, I would marry Godzilla strictly for tax purposes.
Yeah, because he'll destroy the government.
Right.
There won't be any taxes.
Ah!
Shit! Hey, you know what? We got one. I knew it, dude. I told you he'd marry Godzilla. I should have told you. But... I knew it, dude.
God damn!
I knew it.
Woo! It's trials
You know what
and tribulation, baby.
The beauty of this is that no one's gonna hear this because Phil will just cut this out.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
All right,
Maybe.
we'll try audio only. See if that helps.
All right,
Yeah,
so you'll marry Godzilla for tax purposes.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to kill King Kong.
Kill King Kong.
Biased.
Ah, shit!
All right, we're slowly gonna get all of them. So he kills King Kong. He marries Godzilla. Man, he fucks Optimus Prime. That's
I mean, that's
greasy.
That's greasy.
Well, what's your shout out, Phil?
Shout out time! So shout out. It's not like last week we were like, yo, let's shout out little bands. I'm like, this one is not little, but I love this album so much. Bark Nagar with the new album Fall. It was released, I think, early in February, and god damn, that album is epic. An epic album. It's Bark Nagar. It's very cool Bark Nagar, but black metal with some progressive metal inside it. It's very nice. I love it. And yeah, Bark Nagar Fall. Go listen to that, peeps.
I'm gonna shout out today. It's gonna be Upon the Stone. Newest record here. We have. Oh God, I need the title. Dead Mother Moon. It came out. Oh God, I'm fumbling this bad. Fumbling the bag, boys. Came out January 19th, Century Media. Very good stuff. Big band. Definitely check it out. Been having a good time.
I think Up and Stone. Jerry
It was a
reviewed
Jerry Monk Metal Architect find. So
perfect.
you chop that up there. Melodic Death, baby.
Yeah. Before we go out, we have a little message from our guest.
So before we wrap things up for this episode, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that was involved with helping us create The Way of Ancients. First and foremost, my bandmates, River Jordan, Jamie DeMar, Andrew Casciato, Travis Meredith, Mike Hargrave. Shout out to Mike Lowe for tracking, mixing, and mastering this entire thing. Shout out to Emily Lowe for lending her voice on the record. All the choral vocals you hear are her. Shout out to Malcolm Pugh for shooting the two music videos we did with him recently. And shout out to everybody at Prosthetic, Steve, Joe, Will, Becky. They've all been absolutely wonderful in helping us promote this thing and giving it as much reach as we possibly can. And shout out to you guys as well. So, thanks for having me. And, also as a closing statement, all I really have to say is, to anybody listening, please go check out the new record, The Way of Ancients. Me and the guys, we put everything we had into this thing, and we tried to make the absolute best record we could in the stylings that we like to play. So please give it a listen. Check it out on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you stream music. You can pre-order the record. Well, I guess at this point you can order the record on the Prosthetic website and also on our Bandcamp page. And also, I know we were talking about this earlier, but yeah, you guys need the radio show host voice guy. You got to have like the "Now you're listening to Whispers from the Void" podcast. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
All right, that's enough. Dave was awesome. Shout out to Dave. Check out Volcandra, their new album, and stay heavy, my friends. This has been Whispers from the Void. I'm Evan.
And I'm Phil. And he was Dave. And see you on the next one. Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.